but she very lucky to bounce up a long sweet man like me. She said so nice, everything alright. Believe me, I'm feeling fine. I want to wine. I say, honey, you better listen to me. Once you cook keep up the pace, you're in the right place. When the DJ play Peter Humphrey, she raised her hand and she tell me, making no place sweeter than home. I say she gone crazy when they bring in fine turkey. No place sweeter than home. Just give me permission, I want me permission, because no place sweeter than home. My daddy and I'm watching, yeah, you never know what they're thinking. No place sweeter than home. But she whining home, leave me alone, my only home. Are you for me? For me?
I want to officially say a pleasant good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Why I can't do that?
And how are we doing this afternoon?
To cruise on the rum runner. I went for dinner at the Nutmeg restaurant and bar. I said to you,
it is a pleasure being in your company for another wonderful day.
You want to come now?
Welcome to the persons on my Facebook and YouTube page. How are we going this afternoon? To the persons on my YouTube page, I want to say a special good evening to you guys, man. You guys are always there on time, man. YouTube don't feel anyway, but they here just mounting the viewing, man. Yes.
Just give me tangler, then bring in bubbler. No place sweeter than home. Said he can't them watching.
This afternoon, I'm thinking about getting a little bit interactive. Somebody's already interactive. So another educational evening, another informative evening. But this evening I want to get a little bit interactive with you guys. I want you guys to take this number right now. That number is 440-7377. That number again, 440-7377. Now you should be able to contact me via WhatsApp, be text or call today, alright?
Let me tell you something.
For those of guys who are aware, that is the Talking Point studio number. So today, I'm just going to take it for a little while. Yes, because we need to fix some things on from my end. So we're just going to use the number. If you want to call in, if you want to send a message, we definitely will get a little bit interactive this evening, yes? Not like last year, you all was scared to talk to me. Feel free to be a part of the program, alright? Today is one of those days, alright? I don't want to do too much of the talking.
Brandy and them watching. Girl, you never know what they thinking. No place sweeter than home. But she whining home. Leave me alone, my only home. Cracker, I wonder if she want to visit Battle Beach. She wants to take off her clothes. He took up the dimension and she winding on people, man. Back and all of the arena, Christmas one had to bring water.
those of us who know that music well.
I take she to Island View. She flinging waist like she never christened. We went to see Bun Disco. She says, Becky, give me more. All she want is sweet soca. As soon as she had Fantasia. And Benza said, don't do that. Them fellas hungry like shark. We went to Club Renda Booze. All those couples she did lose. She hooked on the police van. She said she loved the bass man.
Alright, so I know a long time many of you guys haven't heard this one coming out there from Elimus Gilbert. That is the inspector. Yes. So this afternoon we're going to get a bit interactive. Definitely we want to be able to have a little communication today. You know, ever so often, you know, we don't get the opportunity to do so. And so today is one of the days I believe we want to get a little bit interactive. Hoping that I could, and I wish I could, you know. I really wish I could get interactive today. But however, we will wait and see how best we can go ahead with our conversation. Don't forget, you can check out the workout that is taking place right now. If you want to be a part of it, you can check out my dear brother, the Goose, who's doing the workout at Tanting. It's called Follow Me. Yes, Pain is Weakness, Leaving the Body. $20 per class, $65 per month. So check it out. It happens on Monday and Wednesdays. Yes, from 4:30 to 6:30. So they're just about a few minutes before completion. But you can sign up for the next event. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this evening I would be in the mood, more or less, of breaking down some of the things that have been posted by one of Grenada's finest journalists. A lot of the times she's more belittled than anything, but I want to jump into that conversation today wholeheartedly for many of reasons, because there's a lot of salient points in which the individual would have raised. And you see, ever so often we don't take the time off to be in the know. Yes, more or less be in the know. And so when we get the opportunity to be in the know, it is good that we take all the information that is given. Yes. So let me just ensure. Right. So I want to start with the very first, and this one was posted today. It took me by surprise. So I had to jump into the conversation real quick today. Yes, I had to jump into the conversation really quick today. Right? It says, in June 2022, the Support for Education, Empowerment and Development, or SEED Social Safety Network Program in the Ministry of Social Development had 107 beneficiaries. Yes? Stick with me on this conversation here now. So there was 7,107 persons on the SEED program, along with the Support for Education, Empowerment and Development, or SEED Social Safety Network Program. The number of people in this program as of December 2024, a mere 2 years thereafter, it is presently, because I mean, let's be realistic, it is 2 months and some, it is 2 years and some months. Yeah, remember the National Democratic Congress administration on taking office, they would have ended the program, so on and so forth. They would have dropped some people off, they would have picked up some people on the way, so on and all over the place. So the number of people in the program as of December 2004 stands at 7,745. This was disclosed by Senator Gloria Thomas during her end-of-year interview with the Government Information Service. Beneficiaries receive between $50 and $700 monthly. Now, mathematically, for the past 2 years and some months, there have been an inclusion of 638 persons within that program. Yeah? 638 persons have been included in that program within that space of time. Now, oh, it's program. All right, thanks for the correction. But as one would say, you understand what I'm saying? Yes. Now, that program, prior to the National Democratic Congress taking office, saw over 7,000 people. Yeah? And funny, this is an administration that preached boldly on the fact that, NNP was giving too much of handouts. Too much of handouts. That NNP kept persons in that poverty-stricken line. And so hence the reason why, the program was, giving our poor people too much. But within 2 years and some months, there are beneficiaries well over 500. So this is an administration who campaigned on bettering the lives of Grenadians and being able to make them, be employed, ensuring that, persons are not on programs like this. So the bushing program was castigated on the back that you were keeping Grenadians at a level where they don't want to go and work. But it fascinates me that with under just about 2 years, or so, because remember, the full gearing of the program was held back for more than about 2 or 3 months. I am subjected to corrections. Remember, the NDC had put an halt to that program for a while. They said they were going through the list again. But ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing with just about 2 years, there is 638 persons. 638 persons included in that program. So my question to government is whether or not you all have been improving the lives of individuals, or have you been doing the quote-unquote same thing that NNP was doing, giving handouts? And it ranges from $50 to $700. Now say to me, somebody on the seed program is getting $50. Again, it baffles me the manner in which these people think. And in the comment section, somebody would have said, while the seed program has seen an increase in beneficiaries from June to December, the modest growth over the 2 years raises questions about its capacity to adequately address the rising cost of living and the growing needs of vulnerable population. So when Dr. Mitchell spoke as it relates to the vulnerability of others or persons here in this country, it was like, okay, Dr. Mitchell was castigating those people or persons. But the fact is, ladies and gentlemen, ever so often, there are many persons, and it's no fault of the government or any administration, that persons fall within that poverty-stricken line. But they are citizens of the state, and so it is mandated by government, I'm saying, that it will ensure that the majority of their citizens are living within that standard that keeps them to have the basic necessities of life. That is factual. Government is mandated to ensure that every citizen get the basis of life: food, clothing, and shelter. And so it is something that sometimes many institutions, many government, many entities attempt to alleviate the issues of poverty, or persons going under that vulnerable population line. So additionally, white beneficiaries receive between $50 and $700 monthly. The low end of this range may not significantly improve the quality of life of many. And that is factual, especially in the face of the economic challenges. Expanding the program's reach and adjusting the financial support to reflect current realities would better align with its goals of empowering and developing. Somebody in the comment section is immediately saying, crazy, yes, to have citizens in this time receiving $50 as government help in a day-to-day era under this government. Questions. Though, where all this, the person say, question though, where all these vulnerable people come from? I thought under this government, it didn't have none at all. And as I said, we're getting interactive. Go ahead, jump into the comment section, say something. One of the fundamental responsibilities of any government is to take care of the poor and vulnerable, disabled, disenfranchised, disadvantaged, and marginalized population among us. And that is another fact. So, when, as I said earlier, when Dr. Mitchell made comments as it relates to the poor and vulnerable, when he often says it, he knew as a leader the importance of being able to govern a country or govern a state and making sure that those persons that is under those lines, are kept always at a level where they can meet the necessities of life. But what is amazing about this, as I said, 638 persons added to the support of education, empowerment, and development safety net program. The SID program in which many stated that, you have friends and you have neighbors of the NNP supporters that was on the SID program. Because I really want to know how much they take out. Because I remember they stating that they was going through the list and they would have removed many. And so to hear now that at the end of last year, at the end of December, of 2024, that they had 638. What I want to know now is what is the amount. So in 2024, the end of 2024, we saw an increase of 638. My question is, what is it going to be? What is it going to be this year? Somebody's asking in the comment section. But my big question is, I'm asking today, what happened to the 50th anniversary of independence money? Go still waiting on a financial support report. Remember, they give us a kind of answer when the question was posed in the House. And then the numbers was not making sense. Yeah? The number was definitely not making sense. And so, when we jumped into the conversation, many persons started to give us all kind of numbers. And we are still awaiting that number. Somebody's asking again, what can $50 buy in this rising cost of living? This is a political administration whose leader spoke outright about what he said, something about the World Bank said, if you're living between that, you're living between that, and you keep. Anyway, we're moving on today because there is more to address. As I said, we're going to go through it, and as long as we go through them, we are going to, have conversations about them. Here he's saying in October 2024, Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell detoured his trip to Rwanda because of the Marburg virus and ended up in Nigeria. I know this one, some people said to pull the chair now. I want you pull all your chair real close. Because when I say to you guys, we are going to unfold the lies of this individual and the manipulative attempts ever so often to sway Grenadians in believing that, oh, we're going on government businesses and are you just going on lime and make sharpness, we are going to unfold them. Yeah? Because you see, you always slip up. Even if it's not a day or two after, maybe months thereafter, you always slip up. Yes? So, in October of 2024, for those of us who remember the whole oil and gas saga in which we still await, a lot of questions are being asked in that regard. Currently, ladies and gentlemen, so remember, in October 2024, he detoured from going to Rwanda, yes, because of a disease that was there and there at the time, and he ended up in Nigeria. So stated. Currently, there is a surge in cases of the flu-like human-like disease that is taking place in China. That is HMPV. That raised fears of another COVID-style pandemic. But our Prime Minister traveled there on an official trip that will last from the 9th to the 17th. Now, there is no specific treatment of vaccine for both viruses. So, in October of last year, you detoured from Rwanda and ended up in Nigeria because you stated that at the time there was a disease there and you did not want to go there. Yeah? Dr. Mitchell said, don't go there. So you didn't want to go there because of what was happening. No, it is funny that just a few months after, the very same likely virus, or even worse, as is stated, it is a COVID-style pandemic that is happening basically in China right now. But the Prime Minister is on a lengthy trip there. In excess of 8 days. Our Prime Minister is presently in China. Same kind of red flag as it relates to virus. But in October, you had to take a detour from Rwanda because of the time, at the time you stated that there was a virus there. See how we just unfold their lies? Tell you they don't slip up. They don't slip up. Somebody saying in the comment section, I wouldn't be surprised that Handy is left to address the 51st Independence Celebration as PM. Or you don't be surprised, it would never happen. Not with that type of political leader that we have now. You're mad? That is one of the highlights in the state. He don't giving that up. You mad? He don't making nobody go and sit down in no vehicle and go there and take that recognition. You're mad. Even if he is at the general hospital, he may ask that the parade be done at the hospital yard. This kind of leader we have in Grenada. Yeah? Because it means that if he does that, he is belittling his image. Because remember, he is the person that sells Grenada. Yeah? Deacon Mitchell is the minister. He is the tourism sector in this country. He's Granitang, he's Annadale, he's all the beautiful sites. It's named Deacon Mitchell. So he would never do that. And yes, this is Deacon. Guys want us to not gather or play music to enjoy ourselves on holidays like Independence Day. They really doesn't care about the poor people in Grenada. That's a fact. We have proven that time and time and time again. Yeah, and it's no hiding thing. Right. Let me say this again. We're jumping into more conversation. I tell you, we're blazing today from afar. 5 ministers of government left the state on the 9th of January 2025. Let me read that again. 5 ministers left the state on Thursday, the 9th of January 2025. And for the acting Prime Minister position held by Honorable Andy Williams, we are yet to know who are appointed in the acting ministerial positions. So, the Minister of Foreign Affairs wasn't here. The Minister of Agriculture wasn't here. The Minister of Finance wasn't here. The Minister of Tourism and Culture wasn't here. Now, the only position that was left with an acting position was the position of Prime Minister. So 5 ministers, including the Prime Minister's ministerial position and his prime ministerial role, the only person left in that regard to have facilitated the position was Andy Williams as acting Prime Minister. The other 4 positions was left bewildered. I was hoping the answer to these questions would be in the Gazette that was on January 10th. Yes, 2025, because if they left on the 9th, by the 10th we're supposed to know, where are they? But it was not included in the publication dated 1 day after the ministers left the island. So the ministers have left the island, and we're unaware as to where are they going, 1, and 2, who is left to act in the capacity thereof. But though we hear like a talks on the ground about a particular minister that they saying they going in meeting and they on trips with significant others, basically indulging in undefiled behaviors. But don't worry, in the upcoming days and weeks, we are going to get to know more. We're going to get to know more. If you were not aware, Minister Dennis Cornwall and Minister Adrian Thomas went to Venezuela for an inauguration of Maduro, and the Agriculture Foreign Affairs Minister traveled with the Prime Minister to China. So we had Brother Dennis Cornwall and Adrian Thomas, who was out, remember, when the Prime Minister addressed this nation, and beyond the headlines, and he spoke about leaving Grenada. Let's not forget. Come on, man. Let's not forget, because we want to ensure that we have it right. Hold on, a little music playing in the background. I have to take off that music. Not supposed to hear that in the background, so let me cut off that. Right. So let me get what I want to get now, so you guys could be a part of it and hear it. So, Prime Minister on the conversation about leaving Grenada to China. Let's listen.
I just want to announce to the public, since I have the opportunity, that myself and the Foreign Minister and the Minister for Economic Development, that's Mr. Lennox Andrews and Minister Joseph Andal, together with a delegation, will be traveling to the People's Republic of China on the 9th of January to mark the 20th anniversary of the resumption of diplomatic relations between Grenada and China. And during that time, Minister Williams will act as Prime Minister.
So now I don't need to hear the whole thing. You heard for yourself that the Prime Minister did not disclose the traveling of anybody to Venezuela. That was not disclosed at the time. Yeah? So, nothing so was mentioned to our people. And so they left. Imagine that. 5 ministers of government out of state at the very same time. That could have ever happened under Dr. Mitchell, and somebody don't get it and somebody don't run with it. Right? Somebody in the comment section is saying, can lands purchased by MPs of this administration after coming into power be seized? Also, can personal business by these individuals, also MIT record, be suspended? Well, that person jumped the gun, but I like as they jumped the gun because I'm jumping into it one time. Yes? Somebody in the comment section is saying, remember the men tell us early in the game, the country is in need of, not on a need to know basis. What is it that you all want? Yeah? And I wouldn't say what they say, I just paraphrased it differently. So ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to jump into one, as the person would have mentioned this. Let me just say to you, this one is hot from the press, and again, this one is coming, all compliments, Sister Jenny Rapier. You know how she does it. And so let me just play that one really fast for you guys. And listen carefully. Listen this.
I'm pleased to announce the completion of the sale of the Tufton Hall plantation, which includes 34 acres, 2 roads, 22 poles, with uninterrupted panoramic views over the verdant and striking scenery of the Caribbean Sea. Mr. Orlando Romine, our special envoy, ambassador and advisor to the government on the creatives and ICT, now fully owns Tufton Hall Plantation in St. Mark. Mr. Romine, is it true you paid down a deposit of $100,000 cash on that Tufton Hall Plantation property? And is it true you were offering cash as well for the entire payment of $1.25 million? However,
what do you hear numbers? Are you guys hearing? Because somebody in the comment section is asking the question. You hear what is going on in Grenada? Are you hearing? Based on that information, it is alleged, more so, that Orlando Romine is now the owner of Tufton Hall. I am from St. Mark's. The owner of Tufton Hall. And you hear $100,000 cash. And he was offering, I think, in excess of something million. I think at the end there, it was mentioned. Are you hearing this? Now, if we go back to Mr. Romine's financial status before June 22nd, 2022, I am certain that you guys would not see that amount of funds at his disposal. Where has he obtained it within the past few years? I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't feel the persons in the back of the class hear them numbers called properly. I'm playing it again because all you say I like things, so you think I like a playing thing. Let me go again. Tell me again, Sister Jenny.
I'm pleased to announce the completion of the sale of the Tufton Hall Plantation, which includes 34 acres, 2 roads, 22 poles, with uninterrupted panoramic views over the verdant and striking scenery of the Caribbean Sea. Mr. Orlando Romine, our special envoy, ambassador and advisor to the government on the creatives and ICT, now fully owns Tufton Hall Plantation in St. Mark. Mr. Romine, is it true you paid down a deposit of $100,000 cash on that Tufton Hall Plantation property? And is it true you were offering cash as well for the entire payment of $1.25 million. However, according to my source, you went through the NIS. I'm pleased to announce.
What did I miss? Absolutely nothing. So you hear numbers? 34 acres of land. $100,000 up front. As to maybe saying, okay, let me secure the area. Let me secure it. And by extension, he said, you know what, I want to pay for everything. He offered $1.25 million in order to claim ownership of Tufton Hall. Orlando Romaine. Open all your eyes, Grenadians. These are young men in Grenada. And I'm saying to you, a financial report would not show that this young man was in possession thereof of that mammoth amount of fundings prior to his political affiliated administration taking office. It is alarming. It is alarming, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what makes it alarming? The mere fact that there are persons within our society, within our communities, that, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, continues to call on government to assist in many, many areas. And there are individuals living the life of somebody from Dubai here on the backs of our Grenadian people. Can somebody please tell me where did this man get all this money? Where is the FAU in all this? So when these boys and them leave, they said they're for life, while there are people suffering in this country. I told you guys yesterday, as it relates to a young Imani worker whose fortnight payment was $141.42. $141.42 on a fortnightly payment. But you're hearing conversations of guys that are spending $100,000 in order to own plots and states and parts of the states and offering it up cash. Offering it up cash. Just under 3 years. And these guys are living a lavish life. They're playing with monies that they have never seen in their entire life. The numbers they're seeing now, they have never seen it even in maths class. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, if we don't open our eyes to what is going on, and I'm not saying that if an individual has the opportunity to live a better life, he or she can't. But you see, when you get too exorbitant, you get greedy. The Bible speaks about gluttonous. The Bible speaks about being glutton. So why there are persons within St. Mark's that are calling on government's assistance because they have forgotten that St. Mark's is on the map, eh? They have forgotten it. But let me say to you, just a matter of time before we get in full gear in St. Mark's. Because you all are keep pappy showing us and giving us pappy show representation. And you all have people up there that are making pappy show with monies. It's alleged that under the housing program, there's an individual up there that is merely disabled. Disabled man. Don't go in age. They say a big truck come and they put a whole set of materials by him because they're going to assist him in building a little one-bedroom house. They say, you see materials. He said they was going to build the walls of Jericho. If you see material, they drop the evening. They say by the morning, late night, a next truck come. And the truck remove the item and they say they drop it in the wrong place. We know what is going on in St. Mark's. An individual who has not been working over months now in a particular program in St. Mark's, going on at least 6 to 7 months now. He's not part of a program in St. Mark's, but he has been collecting a salary. His name is on the government's financial status, collecting a salary, but he's not employed with government. But they're making sure that that individual name stays there, and they're collecting monies for it. We know. We're aware. We saw when your guys come back with the truck and all say, oh, we dropped in the wrong place. We dropped in the wrong place. So all the materials that was dropped earlier on to build the walls of Jericho, they said, no, not yet the walls that Jericho is supposed to build. And so they pick up the items and they drop it somewhere else. We know. But now, one of your goons, instead of the development take place in St. Mark's that is expected, all the run mouth, they used to be on Facebook. The now senator that have been selected in St. Mark's, he used to be on Facebook every time, man. Oh, they're not doing nothing. They give him a little cess program. Well, when the new National Party takes office, they will tell me what cigarette you like. Because the pappy show that have happened in the cess program and the monies that have been accounted for and the persons that are on that got through with the program, we want to know what they do with it. A lot of all you better contact all your loans officers very early. Because I'm saying to you, when that boom swing, we are going to investigate thoroughly some of the mismanagement and radical spending, not ridicule, my apologies, radical spending that have been happening. And then they stand in the House of Parliament and they say, oh, this is the government that have been most accountable. They will tell us. They are going to tell us. They won't have a choice but to tell us. And let's go on. And this one, I think I read this one yesterday. Yes, I read this one yesterday. So we're moving on. Right? From the period 2019-2024, the U.S. deported 40 Grenadians to the island, according to the data in the U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement Fiscal Year 2024 Annual Report. The report details an agency's accomplishments over the past years and highlights how each directorate and program office fulfilled in congregational mandated missions. For the year 2024, the report, which covers September's, shows Grenada received 5. Yes, folks. So, only September gone there. 5 persons were deported back to Grenada on the counts of criminal activities. From 2019 to 2024, there were 40 in calculations. So take it to mean that 2020, 21, 22, right? 22, 23, 24. So both political organizations, both present and past, have seen the deportations of persons from the United States on the reports of criminal activities, persons not being properly documented and sent back to the state. Now, in 5 days, ladies and gentlemen, a selected or elected, president is about to take office, who has mandated his people that immigration is going to be, a deportation of immigrants is going to be on his front burner. We have seen significant increase within the states and around the Caribbean of criminal practices. More so gearing to gun violence and other events. Notwithstanding the fact that within that realm is a significant amount of persons that holds position. Pastors, lawyers, priests, all kind of thing they killing. They do business. Now, on today's news, I heard Mr. Jerry Edwin would have spoken about it, and I said, let me get it because I want to ensure that you all understand that this is not the concept of just me, but there are other persons seeing what I'm seeing. And instead of we as a country getting ourselves mentally prepared for it, we're probably showing ourselves and thinking it is just a joke. But listen to the words of Mr. Jerry Edwin, please.
So we are urging, let me say I'm speaking on behalf, I am sure, of all 5 or 6 members of the criminal bar active in the High Court. Can the authorities please ensure the protection of our judges, our DPPs, our crown counsels, and our lawyers at the criminal bar?
His comments came mere weeks after attorney Randall Hector was shot dead on December 31st while walking to his car in neighboring Trinidad. Hector was well known for collaborating with the Strategic Service Agency, an elite unit within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Edwin says his murder sent shockwaves through the legal fraternity, particularly those participating at the criminal bar.
We learned of an attorney on the last day of the year who was gunned down, shot to death, apparently because he was prosecuting a case on behalf of the state, the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Should we wait? Should the government, should the authorities in national security, should they wait for something to happen in Grenada to a member of the bar, a member of the DPP's office, a member of the judiciary, before reacting? Can we harden the courthouses? That is, to have more police officers present. Can we increase the escorts of judges? Can we ensure that the DPP has a police escort at all times?
He also believes it is extremely important to protect Grenada's borders by implementing safety measures to deter criminals from entering the island illegally.
If you live in a community and you see something untoward, say something. If you see something, say something. Because I'm afraid that we are at the tip of the iceberg. 624 murders in Trinidad and Tobago in 2024. To our north, in St. Vincent, 55 murders in 2024. In St. Lucia, over 60 murders.
For MTV News, Terrell Hood.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I really had to address this because if we continue to look at what is going on in Grenada and how very little attention is given to our security within the state, it's like we are walking towards earning the, how should I put it, the solve rate than more the restriction rate. So we rather hear, oh, well, all the murders were solved, than to be saying that there was no murders at all, or very little or minimal amount. So At this stage, ladies and gentlemen, it is fascinating. And somebody just posted in the comment and says, some big time investor, him selling off to Richmond Hill and so on. Yes, I don't know if he's speaking about the prison in that comment. But you realize that the only security measure mentioned thus far by this political organization, by the Prime Minister of the state, by addressing the nation, is to make the prison bigger. Anybody who have realized that? That has been the most significant address given to our people here in Grenada when it comes to the conversation of security. He has sent a delegation of persons to neighboring islands to see how well they can copy as to how the prisons are in order to come back here and say, listen to me, let's build the prison better. So, ladies and gentlemen, the more we continue to embark on the mere fact that this is an administration that is post-active and not proactive, it continues to reflect in the day-to-day living and lifestyle and behavior from them. So ever so often what you would see is that they would do things only after. Yes, only after it happens. You hear they come and they start to talk all kind of nice talk. They start to talk all kind of nice talk. And so once you hear them nice talk start to go, ladies and gentlemen, listen to them carefully. Now I want to do a very quick maths for you. And let me start by doing that quick maths so persons would get a kind of sense as to what I'm speaking about. And it was really posted on Carla Walcott's page. Yes. Now listen to this. If a contract worker who has a salary of $1,500 per month, listen to me, spends 14 years in the service, undisturbed, the past service credit according to Schedule 11 Part D of the Pension Act is $315. So 14 years of service is only worth $315 according to Deacon Mitchell and his gang. That is the facts, you know. That is the facts. So you would work for an amount of time and you would realize that when you start to do the math, so you see the headlines sound good, contribution and so on and so forth. It goes on again, and this one is from Linda Stricker's page. As I listened to the debate in the parliament about the new pension bill, I decided to work out a little maths about how it will affect a worker earning minimum wage, quote unquote. So a cook in any of the schools working for a minimum $1,500 will pay 3% of towards the pension payment. That is $45. And that comes out monthly towards the new pension plan. And the government will match $45, $90 in all. Right? After 15 years, right, she will have $16,000 in her account. Right? From $16,200, she will get 25% of her gratuity, which is $4,050. And she has the option, right, to withdraw all because it will be $25,000. May I say that NIS will still be there, standing, paying in accordance with your contribution. So, she wondered. Mr. Lennox Andrews described the new pension as a mandatory saving. So you have given 15 years of your life to state on a minimum wage. And at the end of it all, your earnings will be $25,000. Amazing, right? Banks give you $25,000 unsecured. Banks give you that. Because that to them is a small amount. And sometimes they give you how much you have to pay back, maybe just about 5 years, 6 years, based on how much you earn. And now you would service or do service for the state in excess of 14, 15 years. And you're looking at a mega $25,000 to go home. $25,000. $25,000. Look, people, they themselves can see and are feeling the shift on the ground. The people would have left the NDC. And what is left for them to do is to fool their pocket. The people would have left NDC, all they would have done is fool their pockets. Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, like it or not, support it or not, this is an administration that does not mean too well for the state. This is a political organization with a set of young people that are now seeing what they have never seen and might have never seen in a lifetime. There's a bomb to bust. Now you realize there's a certain older set of folks within the NDC that don't speak nothing pension. Because they know since in the time of the NNP they were receiving pension. In the comment section, somebody commented, I cannot understand why some politicians keep on saying contract and unestablished government workers retire without pension. So what the NIS Grenada end giving them is not a pension contribution? The payment from NIS is based on your contribution, and the NIS pays a monthly contribution or a one-off grant when a worker retires. I think it is time that this false narrative stop. Reading through the new bill, can Mr. Brian Grimes tell me if the new pension bill plan can also provide for a gratuity payment? Now, there are so many questions about that. And next week, I think I would try my utmost best to get a guest with me here next week as we jump into this conversation of pension payment and pension. Yes, I think there is many persons who needs more clarification on this, because I was stopped by an individual, yes, and they asked me a lot of questions surrounding the pension conversation. Yeah, and me myself even had to ask myself, is that so? I wonder if what he's saying is being, and I think we need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, more so, that this pension conversation is a lot. It is a lot. And a lot that has not been explained properly to the Grenadian public. There are folks that they don't understand these big letters and these big words. So, when an individual says to you, or the state says to you, that they are initiating something, and they're mandating it, it is high-handed to me. It is high-handed to me. Because you're about to take out $45 in my salary. And in other circumstances, more. And you're doing it and saying, you have to do it. This is what I want. This is not asking you to do. This is what I'm telling you to do. This is high-handed. And the mere fact that our unions had to step to the light. Legal counsels had to come out and say, what is going on? What is going on? Political organization, they say you have to do that, and it is imprinted in black and white. It is marked in stone that this is what they want, this is what you have to do. People, this is high-handed. And as I continue to say, if it's a Dr. Mitchell and a NNP, man, you've seen placard, you've seen all kind of thing out there. But you see, so many persons have gotten so much hush money. And I'm afraid to say it. It's hush money. Because you all were never in the interest of the state. You all are focused on what falls in your pocket at the end of the day. And so, as old people used to say, you don't care if Monday fall on a Wednesday. You don't care. Because your full intention, or the whole intention behind it, is you getting what you have. You getting your things, man. You're nice. And while other persons are suffering. But there is a saying, every rope has an end, and every prayer has an amen. Every long rope has an end, and every prayer have an amen. See, when that amen come for NDC, I will sit back and I will say, amen. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the broadcasting for this week in the Class in Session program. I, yours truly, Royalty James. Definitely a pleasure, always a pleasure to be here with you guys as we continue to disseminate information in improving the knowledge and the political knowledge to impart upon you guys. Is always our pleasure. And I speak on every one of us that who normally uses the social media platform to disseminate information. It is always a pleasure to do it. It is very tough sometimes. Preparations and information, fact checking and making sure what has to be said is said, tapes and clips and so on. It is often a task. But we get it done because we love you guys. And we want you guys to be in the know. Right? So until next Monday again, I want to say God's blessings to each and every one of you guys. We hope that your friends and family, they are protected under the wings of the Almighty. And that you stay prayed up, stay peaceful, and as I mentioned, stay in the know. I am yours truly, Royalty James, for another Class in Session program. As per usual, it's a pleasure being with you. And as we get ready for tomorrow, where you will hear Sister Jenny, tomorrow we continue with Brother Sheldon. Stay informed. Stay informed, ladies and gentlemen, for another wonderful week. I'm out.
This is simple than big enough DJ Soulcaholic. You don't know. The baddest and the maddest soca DJ from all about. Boom!
Spent 15 years in Washington. Last day she came to jam for the carnival. Who said she? I don't know, but she very lucky to bounce up along with man like me. She says so nice, everything alright. Believe me, I'm feeling fine. I want to wine. I say, honey, you better listen to me. Once you could keep up the pace, you're in the right place. When the DJ play Peter Humphrey, she raise her hand and she tell me, Becky, no place sweeter than home. I say she gone crazy when they bring in flying turkey. No place sweeter than home. Just give me permission, I want me permission, because no place sweeter than home. Paisani and them watching, girl, you never know what they're thinking. No place sweeter than home. But she whining home, leave me alone, my only home. Are you fan me? Fan me? Inspector, what people make me wet me pants, back and along the land. Boy, I had to dance, then I went to cruise on the rum runner. I went for dinner at the Nutmeg restaurants and bar. I said to you, just take it easy. When you jump up in Queen's Park, you want to come back. Jenny and the Espinal, the jamming that be real hard. Check me out on the road show, we drinking curry for some. When the DJ play on my squeezy, she rests right there on me, singing no place sweeter than home. They mix it up with Skylar, she bend down low and she back back, she say no place sweeter than home. Just sing it bubble up, then bring it bubble up. No place sweeter than home. Anytime them watching, you'll never know what they're thinking. No place sweeter than home. But she shouting home in a sexy tone, my only home.